Good day, Fed Phoenixes. So I got like 46, 47-ish days to my self-surrender. I've still not got my designation letter, so once we get down to like 30 days prior to self-surrender, if I still haven't got it, I will then be calling the Marshal Service once a week to check in and see if they've acquired that information so that I can plan as far in advance as possible, just to be as economical as possible. My travel arrangements for when I self-surrender. Um, One of the local folks, they really like those. They're what we call yee trucks. They got like diesel or core or something. I don't know. They're super, super loud and really obnoxious. So I'm sorry that you had to hear that. But anyhow, so I got like 46 days and 20 something hours. So basically 47 days until my self-surrender. Mentally, I'm okay. I have moments, but for the most part, I think I'm pretty okay. At this point in my journey, this is what I got going on. I bought a planner off Walmart.com. I had it delivered. I'm real big on the planner. I forget things a lot. So I have to like over organize in order to be organized. So I got a planner, but I got a 12-month planner that was blank. It has the months, but you fill in the days. So that way, because of course there's with absolute no certainty what day I will be, getting to a halfway house or getting home. And I want to make sure that when that time comes, I have a planner on hand to organize things from that point forward. So to not buy one that would possibly be, too far behind when I get out or too far ahead, I just got a blank one. And I really suggest you doing this and putting it in your pre-packed halfway house bag that you leave with the trusted loved one to bring you when you get to the halfway house. Because this planner, you want to put in there contact information for important people in your life. A lot of times we forget passwords to email accounts, social media accounts, that kind of thing. You may want to put that information in there as well, just so when you get to halfway house, you have all that on hand, before you have a cell phone or if you lose your cell phone. I definitely, wrote in, birthdays that I need to remember and, just took notes on some goals on things to focus on from that point, from halfway house or being at home, fresh out of prison. So, I'm trying to, put, imperative information in there, information that'll be convenient to have at my fingertips as soon as I get out of prison. And definitely it'll help organize things, especially if you do RDEP. You may have to do so many classes or meetings, weekly, bi-weekly, daily, I don't know. You want somewhere to organize all this. When you come home, if you're a person, especially with pre-existing health issues, you're going to be wanting to make doctors and dental appointments, maybe psychiatric appointments. You're going to need somewhere to organize all that. If you have a bank account, I would strongly suggest, if you think you're still going to have it when you come home, having that information in your planner. But you don't want to just write, this is my bank and this is my account and my routing number. I would suggest perhaps maybe figuring out how many digits your accounting and routing number is. And maybe just putting a couple digits, of that number on each month or on different weeks, or a number every Wednesday in the planner, and then maybe a line on one Wednesday. So, the first half is accounting, the second half is routing, something kind of encrypted. I really, think of a way that you could put this information in there that if someone were to find it, they would not know what the heck it even means. They would think it's some kind of just weird notes that you wrote personally for yourself that have no significance. Or maybe email that information from one email account to another to your primary email and just have your email password in there. And if you're sure you're going to remember your email address, just put, email password in the password. That way, again, if someone gets this book and they can't really access any of your information without your permission, and your approval, because they won't be able to decipher what the information is, or it'll be partial, from what it appears to them. Another thing I've been thinking about is definitely I'm thinking I want to start, like, on social media, a reentry, a federal, specifically federal, reentry group, on social media, like a support group. Um, I think that's something I would be good at. I think that's something that would be, beneficial to me and beneficial to others. And so, in a sense, kind of a good karma community service thing. And also something that would be therapeutic for me. I think as I go throughout my journey, particularly going through paper, and once I get off paper and I'm free, you know, maintaining a reentry support group when all my federal nightmares behind me, I think will certainly be something that helps keep me grounded and focused and not lose sight of things. And, for those who are new or just fresh in the halfway house or at home, after I've had, this experience, I can then pass on information to them and support them in a way that I would love for someone to support me upon my reentry. You see what I mean? So it's kind of a good karma, community service, pay it forward type thing that I've been giving a lot of thought to the name of and different things and what will the guidelines be. I think while I'm incarcerated, I'll write up, these will be the guidelines of the support group. This will be the name of it. I really want to make it a solid vision, but it's definitely a thought that's crossed my mind that I'm kind of pushing aside, and I'll sort more during my incarceration because I definitely plan to have a lot of activities kind of lined up for myself as far as mental exercises that are catered to my preparation and to transitioning back into the free world, and me being successful in that. The other thing I got going on right now, that if you've been sentenced, they call us pre-sentence up until we self-surrender, but I've been sentenced, but I'm still on pre-sentence, supervision. But another thing I strongly suggest, particularly after your sentencing, because you want these documents to be as recent as possible, definitely within the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days tops. But I did Friday reach out to a few of my physicians and specialists, and just let them know, now when I say I'm going to prison to these people, I don't say, oh, I caught a drug-related charge because I was an idiot with bad judgment, and now I'm going to federal prison. When you say that kind of thing, you scare people. You're not going to make allies from people that are afraid of you. So you need to present things to, especially people like that, in a way that they can digest. So, I say, me and the IRS had some creative differences. And unfortunately, I'm going to be going to federal prison for a couple years. No, I'll be fine. Don't worry. It'll probably be a camp. Where Martha Stewart did her time. That's where I think I'm going. Something like that. And people are just kind of, they kind of look at it like, wow, maybe you made some bad decisions. Maybe you had some bad luck, but you're not scary anymore. Now they want to accommodate you because now you went from being intimidating to sympathetic. So anyway, I've contacted a few of my doctors and specialists and let them know, this is the specific information I need on your letterhead, confirmed from you in writing, so that I can take it with me into prison and be given accurate, or have the highest possibility of getting appropriate accommodations and consideration. For example, I have low blood sugar, I'm hypoglycemic. My primary care physician needs to confirm this for me prior to and I'll take the originals, by the way. I'll take the original documents with me when I self-surrender and ask them to forward them to medical, because they may just throw them away. I'm going to make 2 additional copies. 1 copy to have mailed to me about a week after I get into prison, and 1 copy kind of put back to be mailed directly to either my social worker, my caseworker in prison, or counselor, whatever you choose to call them, or directly to the medical department. That way there's various layers of protection to ensure that the appropriate people will get the appropriate documentation one way or another. If one way, if their plan A don't work, there's B. If plan B don't work, there's C. If plan C don't work, it's just at this point, you're beating a dead horse. But also, I have knee and back issues, some mobility issues, some chronic pain issues. This is important to have documentation of, because I intend to ask for a bottom bunk, to be assigned specifically bottom bunk to accommodate my medical issues. Sometimes they'll let you get away with just saying you have medical issues and giving you a bottom bunk, but because it's such a common thing that people prefer bottom bunks, and so people who don't have legitimate health reasons may kind of fabricate that. It's really better to have documentation of that. Additionally, we all know that I'm a, hoping, planning, thinking I'm gonna go to Alderson, here in West Virginia. I'm in an Alderson Facebook group because, again, I like to know the lay of the land before I go in, what to expect, maybe line up some allies on the outside who advocate for inmates in this facility, that kind of thing. But, so I have these connections when I get there, and I'm well informed on the up-to-date, day-to-day, what really goes on from an inmate's perspective. But anyway, at Alderson, they have what they call Hallelujah Hill. And apparently it's set up kind of like college campus. There's no gun tower, there's no barbed wire fence. And the housing units, from what I understand, are kind of lower. And Hallelujah Hill is like up on a big hill, a steep hill. And it's on Hallelujah Hill where the chow hall exists, where all the classes exist. So if you're an inmate at Alderson, just functioning in your day-to-day life, you will frequently have to go up this hill. A nice steep incline, good distance. But for people with physical limitations, like I have degenerative disc disease and bulging discs in my back, herniated discs, I have almost no cartilage in my knees at all. So I get injections, I get epidural, outpatient surgical injections into my back, and I also get gel injections into my knees. I know I'm incarcerated. When my injections wear off and I need more, I'm not going to get them. So the less wear and tear I can add onto my back and knee issues when I first get there, the better, and throughout my stay. But for people, and I guess there's like a direct, like straight up path, and then there's like kind of a go around the hill to go up it path, that a lot of the people who do have physical issues and haven't, were unable or failed to take the proper steps to bring in documentation of that, have to walk it several times a day. But for those who medical says, okay, this person has legitimate health issues and it's not safe or realistic to expect them to climb a mountain several times a day, they can get what's called a van pass, which means there's a transport van that will drive you up and down the hill. I don't know how often it does this, but I would imagine it would take at least half of these trips out of your daily, your daily schedule. So, which is awesome because, I just got knee and back injections not that long ago. I'm really not in any significant amount of pain, right now. But I know when the injections wear off, I will be in incredible amounts of pain 24/7 with my knees and my back. And that would make this hill, I'm not going to say impossible because, we've all seen, A&E show I Survived, so I think I could survive it. I could force myself to push through, especially just having a couple years to do. But I would much rather not, obviously. So, I'm lining up all my documentation to take in to ensure that I'm in the best position possible to do my time as comfortably as possible. And, like I've said in other videos, my preparing for federal prison videos, if you haven't watched them and you're going to federal prison, definitely watch them. I think you'll find a lot of little jewels and information that will be really beneficial for you. But, I have a handwritten contact list. And I'm going to try to bring it in with me. Hopefully a CO is in a good mood and feels like not busting the old lady nuts and lets me have it. But in the event that they may, because they may, just very well take it and throw it in trash, because they do stuff like that, when they want to, because it's the Fed and they do what they want, I will have 2 additional handwritten copies. One to be sent to me, I'll probably actually mail it out myself, like the day I'm self-surrendering or the day before. So it'll get there a couple days after me in case they took my original. And then one to be sent out, if needed, if I inform my people on the outside that I need them to put that in an envelope and mail it to me. Because, at that point, I certainly, kids, but, I certainly want to make sure that I have access to people's emails and, more importantly, addresses and phone numbers, while I'm incarcerated, to maintain contact and ties and stuff. Another thing that I read about doing that I'm certainly going to do is your point of contact person, okay? And I talk about this in your preparing for federal prison videos. You need to figure out and basically assign a point of contact person. This is someone who hopefully will be proactive on your behalf, someone who you can trust, someone who knows other people in your circle or definitely has ways to contact them if need be, via social media, cell phones, whatever. But I'm going to, my point of contact person has a house phone and a cell phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a magic marker, and on the inside, underneath my arm, I'm going to write her house phone number, her cell phone number. Then I'm going to cover it with liquid Band-Aid, you know, the morning before I turn myself in to prison. This way, if they take my contact list when I first get in, and if I'm under the pressure and stress and anxiety of the situation, I can't think of a number to call to try to reach out to the world to say, okay, send me the list, or you know, I'm okay, or whatever. You know, I'll have a number that's going to be on my skin for probably about a week. Because the liquid Band-Aid, if you're not trying to wash it off, you know, if you're just, you know, washing normally over the surface of it, not like scrubbing it, will last a few days, a few shower cycles. And then once that's gone, the permanent marker will also last a few days, a few shower cycles. So, and from what I understand, when I get into R&D to the bus stop to receiving and a discharge, I'll probably, especially because I'm going in on a Friday afternoon, I'll probably have to spend the weekend in there. I will get no shower during that time, most likely, or one if I'm lucky. And then when I get to the quarantine unit, where I'll spend another 3 to 6 weeks before I can get to general population, on that unit, currently they're getting about two opportunities to shower per week. So 1 shower in R&D, 2 a week in the quarantine pod. You know, we're looking at this. These numbers will stay on my body for, I don't know, 2+ weeks. So definitely by then I will have a full contact list in my possession, one way or the other. So, you know, and you want to think ahead like that. You want to prepare. You don't want to just say, well, I'm going to write a contact list and I'm just going to get, you know, my doctors to write me something and I'll just take it in with me. No, you want backup plans, because especially with what you bring in, because a lot of what you bring in may very well just be discarded. The only things that really aren't likely to be discarded and you're allowed to keep, and mind you, generally give you the option of either discard these things, if it's clothes, donate it to the prison. For people that are being discharged and don't have it, literally anything to wear, or send it home. Now, if you send it home, it's at your expense, and they're not going to use the cheapest method to send it home. So you really don't want to be sending anything home. But the things that you can pretty much feel comfortable that you're going to be able to keep will be a plain band, no inscription, no stones wedding ring, if you have one, that is valued under $100. So a lot of people, before they go to prison, they go get the silicone ones, the like $10 ones, and just wear one of those in, you know, that way it's not a safety hazard and under any circumstances, and it's very cheap and easy to replace. You're allowed to bring 1 religious book, you know, no frills, just very basic, plain. I would advise just go with softback, just in case your facility has a policy against hardback. It can't have any marker, pen in it, any notes in the columns, any highlighted sections. You know, it just has to be very, basically the cheapest form of your religious book via Amazon would probably be the winning ticket for you. And 1 religious necklace, the one I wear, which I'm going to flip over the inscription so you can't see it. But it's just a little medallion. It has an inscription on it on the other side. You know, I really don't want to advertise my religion because it's personal and I just don't want to put all my business out there. But the chain has to be no more than 20 inches. Mine's exactly 20 inches. The medallion, you know, or pendant, whatever's on there, cannot have sharp edges unless, of course, it's a cross because, you know, we live in America. That'll be accepted. But no sharp edges, no embellishments, no stones. They prefer, you know, no engravings or minimal engraving. Just very simple. And the medallion or thingy itself has to be like, I think, 1 inch square or smaller. And the total value of the chain and the thingy on it, you know, the charm or whatever, cannot be over, I think it's like $40. So you really want to go super low budget on this. Personally, I say sterling silver, get it off Walmart.com. You can definitely do it within that budget. And now, if you wear contacts, you can't keep your contacts. If you wear retainers for your teeth, or if you have clip-ins, I know you can't keep retainers. You can't keep Invisalign. I think maybe you can keep like partials that you clip in. I know you can keep dentures, like full dentures. You cannot keep your contacts for your eyes, but you can have glasses. Again, the glasses, including the frames, you know, cannot be valued over like $100. The frames themselves not over like $40. So you really want to go low budget. I recommend these. Any eyeglass place will sell you what is called safety glasses. The significance of these is they're really hard to break. They don't scratch and scuff easily. And, you know, if you're going to be having these for an extended period of time, potentially, it would be really a smart investment to get something very durable. Hearing aids, you're allowed to have hearing aids. I don't know if you need to bring documentation for that. If I was you, I would bring documentation just in case. I'm going to bring documentation for my glasses, including the receipt for the cost of my glasses and my prescription, just to validate that I'm not bringing in these glasses as something to trade for favors or commissary. This is an actual legitimate, part of my medical needs. I suggest you bring in all of your medications in their original bottles. Now, a lot of people say don't do this. A lot of people say just bring in a printout from your pharmacy. And they say this because it's, commonly said that the BOP will just throw away the bottles. But I'm bringing in my bottles because it would be real. I've seen the printouts from the pharmacies. I've used them, when I did my PSR and stuff. And they'd be so easy to forge. It's wild. So I would assume that the federal government isn't going to just take it at face value. So to save yourself some hassle, to kind of have, verification that this prescription list is legit, I'm bringing in my pill bottles. And in case they don't have the meds I need available, perhaps they'll give me the ones I actually brought in, at the prescribed times, because they have them on hand right now. You know what I mean? And this is like a verification that the prescription list I'm giving them is legitimate. So, and who cares? Who cares if they throw away your freaking pills? I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, when you come home, when I come home in 2 years, I'm not going to give a crap about the fact that 2 years ago, someone threw away a partial prescription of thyroid and acid reflux meds. You can get more. Just the same meds you're prescribed now, you will be, I'm sure, prescribed continuously when you return to the free world, and you can get brand new ones. So, there's that. So anyhow, we're on day, like 47-ish, 48-ish, before I self-surrender, and that is what I am currently doing in preparation for my prison stay. I have also incorporated some extra walking. I'm starting to do a few dips and push-ups every day to try to get a little upper body strength, just because I know that prison will not be as accommodating as home life, and the demand for me to have strength and stamina just in day-to-day activities is going to be way more significant probably than in my normal at-home life. And the more I'm already acclimated or adjusted to that or conditioned for that, the easier my transition will be. So, I wish you all well. I hope you have a great day. If you like the video, like the video. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to hit notifications if you want to see new videos when they drop. I hope this has been helpful. I know a few people on my page have already been sentenced or about to be sentenced. And y'all, just like me, will have a period of time to basically get ready to go surrender yourself. And, hopefully if there's anything you've overlooked in this process, you'll be reminded by me telling you that I'm doing it, at a certain point. So, good day, God bless, and I will talk to y'all later.